everyone, welcome to Jane's Corner. Before I go into the video, I just want to say thank you so much for all the positive feedback, comments, and all of that. I really appreciate you guys so much. So let's get into it. Today, I want us to talk about accepting the fact that not everyone is going to like you and that it's okay. I know it hurts and it's a harsh truth, but it's true. Not everyone that you come across is going to like you, and that's just the reality. I think for me, what made it easier to accept was I had to understand that we all come from different backgrounds. So obviously, if we come from different backgrounds, it means that we're going to have different preferences, different opinions, different views. We're just going to all look at the world in very different ways because like I said, we come from different backgrounds. So I think it's important to understand that people will dislike you for different reasons, and oftentimes than not, it's not even about you. And I know it's not fair. I struggled to accept this for a very long time because I just felt like, why should people dislike people, or why should people say things about people if you haven't even done anything wrong? But I think we have to have a certain amount of grace and how we deal with people. Sometimes people are going through their personal things, and unfortunately you end up being the victim. It is what it is. People are going through different seasons. People are stressed, people are struggling. Sometimes just you might even represent something that maybe they don't agree with, or sometimes you can trigger something that they are lacking, maybe an insecurity and so on. And it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And when you can understand that, I think it makes it easier when you move forward in life and not take everything personally, because then you know what, that person is going through something. It's not really about me. I think, as unfair as it is, I think it makes it easier to move forward. The other thing why I feel like it's such a dangerous thing to really look to what people think, or rely on people's opinion of you, validate you, is because then it starts to affect your self-esteem. And when you're looking towards other people, I think it can even make you do things that are out of your character, because you might end up losing sense of self because you're so concerned about doing what people will accept. I had to ask myself, why was I so bothered by what people thought about me, and I think it's something that we all have to ask ourselves. Why is it that we are so bothered by if someone doesn't like us or what someone said? Could it be that it's an insecurity? And I'm saying this specifically for when it's even people that don't really know you, or it could be strangers, and we are very concerned about people that don't know us. It's such a weird thing. Is it that we maybe have an insecurity and we need validation from people? Or maybe we don't like what was said because maybe there's some truth in it. And if there is some truth in it, maybe that's time for us to work on ourselves. You know what I mean? And it's such a weird thing. And the thing about wanting approval from people is people will always have prejudgments. Even I'm guilty of it. I mean, how many of us have stereotypes of what we consider maybe this person would do, or this gender does, or this, we all have stereotypes. So that's why I'm saying it's unrealistic for you to expect everyone to see you a certain light, or see me for me, or no, it just won't work. People can judge you or dislike you just based off how you dress, and just from how you dress assume that's maybe your whole personality or how you speak. People might even just not like you because they saw who you associate yourself with. So it really just varies in so many ways, and that's why we can't really control how people see us, or we can't control whether they like us or not. We have to be okay with that, okay in knowing that as long as we are doing our best to be the best people we can be, then that's all we can really do. So like I said, you can't control what people think about you, you can't control what people feel about you, but you can control how you behave, right? I think if you are waiting for people to like you for you to behave a certain way or to be accepted, I think that's a backward way of doing this. I think it's better to rather just focus on what is right and doing the right thing. Be honest with yourself. But let's be honest, guys, for just a second here. You know how I'm saying that sometimes it's not your fault? Sometimes it is our fault. Sometimes people have a reason to dislike us. You have to ask yourself, am I kind? Am I arrogant? Am I rude? Am I unfriendly? Then maybe these people have a reason to be saying what they're saying, or maybe people have a reason not to like me. And when it comes to things like that, then we have to be honest. We have to stop making excuses and saying, yeah, haters will be haters. No. Let's not take that victim mentality and say, yeah, people don't like me, they're just jealous. And you know how we always have those sayings and so on, instead of just taking responsibility and working on ourselves to become better so we can actually do better. You know, the word talks about doing unto others as you would have them do unto you, right? I think we should be more concerned of how we treat other people, less than we are how they treat us or how they feel about us. Let's try and seek to be kinder to one another, and be okay with knowing that as long as we are doing our part and we are being the kind and good people, that's what matters at the end of the day. You're only responsible for what you do. You're only responsible for your actions, and you only be held accountable for your actions. You can't say, well, I was doing this and this because Jane did this to me. No. At the end of the day, you are responsible for how you handle things and how you react to things. So that's why I'm saying I think it took me such a long time to accept this concept that I'm talking about, and this level of maturity, because it takes a lot to accept that, you know what, this person doesn't like me, or maybe I did something to the person, or you know what, maybe I didn't. Even if I didn't do something to this person, I just need to move forward. It takes a lot, you know, but I can't let what other people do dictate how I treat them. And I can't, you know, my brother-in-law has this saying where he says that you shouldn't be a switch, that anyone that passes through your life, they can either switch you on and off. No, we have to have our control over ourselves and our behavior and how we treat other people in our lives. I'm not dismissing the fact that it's hurtful. You know, sometimes people bully others, sometimes people are manipulative. They try to manipulate situations. I understand, and it's hurtful, but we just have to try and not take things so personally. I think for me, what really worked was just going back to gratitude, and instead of focusing on the people that don't like me or the people maybe I don't get along with, I began to focus more on the people who love me and the people who like me. And what I found out was, actually, the people that truly know you will have better opinions. The people who always have these things to say might not even know you that well. So just focus on the people that want to be around you and that makes you feel more valuable. In those spaces where you are grateful, you feel more valuable, you know. But in the same context, if something is really affecting you to the point that you're really concerned about what people feel about you or what that person feels about you, maybe it's an opportunity for you to go and have a conversation. If it's someone that you feel like you care about their opinion, you never know, maybe you hurt the person's feelings, maybe there's a misunderstanding or miscommunication. So yes, there is room for that. I'm not saying you shouldn't just care if people don't like you. I think in fact, I think that if multiple people are saying the same thing, then maybe we need to look at ourselves, to be honest. You know, I'm not saying dismiss, live your life, just accept not everyone will like you. No, I'm trying to say that, you know, sometimes we need to pay attention as well. Except that, yes, sometimes it's not about you, but then if people are talking and it's more than 5 people, maybe let's look at ourselves and adjust those little, you know. Constructive criticism is important. I think if we want to become better people, and like I said, if maybe people have a reason for not liking you, I'm not saying that it's okay that you must stick in your way of doing things if it's a negative way of doing things. Sometimes we need to listen when people are telling us, you know what, Jane, you're too arrogant, or Jane, maybe you're impatient, or Jane, this and that. We need to be able to hear those things for us to grow and learn, right? Like I said, the truth is you won't get along with everyone you meet. We all have different ways of thinking. and we all do things differently, and that's okay. What's not okay is using that as a reason to be rude, unkind, and just, be mean to each other. We have to do our part in the community and in society to be good to each other and be good members of community. I think that we should stop using what people think as a measure of our value. The most important value we have is God, and I think that's the best foundation to have. If you are worried about why don't people like me and why are people saying this about me, if you know honestly that you are living in a way that's truthful, that's honest, that's kind, that's empathetic and compassionate towards other people, I think that's the standard in which you should live. I think if God can be proud of you, then hey, then it's okay. People always have something to say. So that's all I'm trying to say, is we shouldn't have expectations for everyone to understand us and to really accept us. People won't always get it, and if they don't, it's okay, as long as you know you're doing your part in the world and you're being a good person. And hey, if they don't because of a legitimate reason, then there's an opportunity for us to grow. There's an opportunity for us to do better, because when you know better, you do better. So hey, that's all I'm gonna say today. Let's try and improve ourselves, not seek validation of on things of society. Let's not seek validation of what society or people that are not really a part of our support system think of us. Let's rather look for validation in the things that matter, in our loved ones, in the good things, in our community work, in our character. Those are the things that should measure our value as human beings. So please comment down below. Let me know how. I know there are so many issues that affect how we see ourselves and why we want people to like us, whether it's the pressures of social media, whether it's the societal pressures. There's so many things, and please comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. I really enjoyed reading your comments from the last video. I even learned a few things myself, and this is a platform for just that, learning. So I'll see you on my next upload. Peace.